Hey, what is up everyone? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm of course from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll present to you our next Let's Play. Yes, we're about to be going back into the Game Boy Advance device, except now we're going to be taking on the forms of the Sonic game for the Game Boy Advance. Known as Sonic Advance, first came out in 2001, along with the same year as when Sonic Adventure 2 for the Sega Dreamcast and the GameCube port that came out later on as well. And this came out in 2001 as well, so read for Nintendo. And then a year later in the English version of the game, and of course as you can see from the actual footage itself, I was going to be able to do this on my original cartridge form, but I really refused to able to start all over. So as a result, I'm going to be playing this on the emulator, so I want to let you guys know to make the actual picture quality a little bit more nicer, but either way though, let's begin. So as you can see, we actually start things off with not only with Sonic the Hedgehog as a playable character, we have two returning playable characters ever since the Mega Drive days, which we have Tails, Knuckles, and a newcomer introduced in the 2D platformer department, we have Amy Rose. So as a result of that specific stuff, I more consider this to be the true definition of the real Sonic the Hedgehog 4, because most people seem to think this to be the true Sonic the Hedgehog 4, because it plays out very similar to the Mega Drive days, / Genesis days if you lived in America. So of course, as you can see from the start, I'm going to be selecting Sonic for the first zone in this game, called Neo Green Hill Zone, which is more likely a typical Green Hill kind of style of level, as you can see right here. So yeah, as a result, and yeah, if you ever played any other 2D Sonic games from the past since the Mega Drive days, as we all know, you know exactly how this plays out. It plays in a 2D perspective, and every once in a while though is the fact that we actually come across into familiar items like the shields, rings, and also speed up shoes, and even especially noticeable with the invincibility boxes and all that stuff. So yeah, for the most part though, as you can tell, is the fact that now we have ourselves a melee attack, which even then though, this basically what that means is the fact that you can able to do new movesets in terms of what the characters can able to do. Such as, for instance, for example, Sonic can able to utilize the instant shield, just like in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. However, here's the thing about this time around though, compared to the forms of how it does it in, well, specifically since Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, the elemental shields are nowhere to be seen, although we'll talk more about it later, because for now, Chaos Emeralds will make a return in Sonic Advance, but in order to able to actually go to the special stages, as you can see right there, we need to find one of those special springs that, if you somehow manage to search well enough in the stage, then you weren't able to actually access to the special stage. And as you can see from the special stages alone, it plays more likely some sort of like a tunnel kind of diving sequence, but at the same time you have to collect rings, just like the forms of any other special stages in the previous Sonic games, that's for sure. So, for the most part though, is the fact that, oh yeah, by the way, you know what that particular, the yellow kind of circle thing right here, that actually represents a trick that you need to perform. And by doing so is the fact that you have to press the B button on the Game Boy Advance device. So because of that though, even though unfortunately I'm going to be playing this on the emulator, so this means that, well, in order to able to collect some of those rings, you're going to have to do the ridiculous amount of directions, as you can see right there. So as a result, you can able to actually collect the rings that way. So yeah, you probably get the idea. And what makes this special stages a little bit tricky and difficult is the fact that compared to some special stages from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you need to judge the depth of it though, because that way, if you judge your depth of that particular collectathon of rings, then you should able to actually just classify that. Now, as you can see, we got the first Chaos Emerald, as you can see right here. Although bad news about Sonic Events though is the fact that if you manage to collect 7 Chaos Emeralds, yes, 7 Chaos Emeralds do make a return. And if you collect all 7 of these Chaos Emeralds, in addition to able to giving ourselves the extra final zone, along with the extra secret boss fight, unfortunately you can't transform into Super Sonic everywhere else. Like, I have no idea how did the actual, the Sonic Advance games never bring that feature back. since during forms have been Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, or even Sonic 2 for that matter, but I digress. So yeah, as I was saying, is the fact that this particular game now introduced into ourselves some melee attacks, as I said before. Like Sonic, for instance, that much like in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, he can able to once again use the instant shield, so that way he can able to actually just to protect himself by specific amount of stuff, like as you already saw right here. And to do that is the fact that you have to tap the A button twice, by the way, so that way you can able to do that. And every other character does manage to have their different amount of melee attacks, which I'll show this off until at some point. Although, if you couldn't tell for this point today, is the fact that today's day is, of course, the 4th of August today. So as a result, everything else has been fresh and all the other jazz and all that stuff. And unfortunately, for the sake of time, is the fact that this will be the final month when the summer is about to be able to actually get us, like, you know, you get the idea. So as you can see, Dr. Eggman is now up to no good once again, except now we actually have ourselves some different contraptions this time around. Like, as you can see, we have ourselves the very first boss in this game, which is known as Egg Hammer Tank, which is kind of like a spiritual sequel to that particular Egg Hammer boss, as you remember from Sonic Pocket Adventure, except the fact that in this particular game this time around, this particular boss fight gets a little bit aggressive whenever you're able to almost done with him. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it in terms of Neo Green Hill Zone, because, you know, it's one of the first ever zones you ever come across into. And as you can see, we're now heading back into the main menu, and because of that, I'm going to be showing you the next character showcase, and that is of course Miles Tails Prower, in the forms within the second zone in the game called Secret Base Zone. And obviously, if you couldn't tell, because I don't know if this is like a post-commentary or something, but basically what I'm trying to do here is the fact that I'll go through every single zone in this game, in addition to able to show you guys every single playable characters as much as possible. So, relatively speaking, we're actually on the halfway point in the character roster department, which is, you know, kind of quick and, you know, pretty swell, if you ask me for the sake of time. And of course, any other uploading schedules for this game in particular is always going to be Tuesday and Thursdays, basically. Even though this Let's Play might be pretty short in comparison to at the moment right now, since yesterday, Piglet, he's now managed to start his Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. So as a result, if you want to check that out, then by all means, you can able to do that. So, as you can see, Tails plays out exactly the same as the forms of how it does it in the Mega Drive 16-bit days. Like, he can still able to have the ability to fly, even though if he flies for a very long time, he will start to get tired out. And also, because of how the fact that I said this before, it does introduce the melee attack. Tails' melee attack is the forms of a Tails whip sweep, which I don't know how I exactly call that particular move per se. But what I've noticed is the fact that that particular ability is super useful, I'm telling you. Well, I usually rarely use it that much, apart from the fact that I can able to deal with, you know, some several enemies, as you can tell. So yeah, you get the idea for that little topic at this point. So yeah, as I said before, I think that the second zone, as you can see, we are approaching onto Secret Base Zone. And just like in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, and also same applies to Sonic 3D, Flicky's Island, and as well as the forms of Sonic Pocket Adventure, between Act 1 and Act 2, that basically the music will able to actually change up a little bit. And similar to the forms of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, there are both acts each zone. And because of that though, in Act 1 is a very simple standard platforming level, and then in Act 2, well, you're still able to do with a lot of platforming involved, but at the end though, it's the fact that you come across into a boss battle in the end. You know, similar to the forms of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and especially noticeable with Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, excluding Sonic Pocket Adventure basically. So either way though, that's all I can really think about it. And yeah, there's a special spring it's just on top of that particular loop-de-loop right here. thankfully, if you manage to use Tails, if you're trying to able to fly and do some, a lot of exploration, and you can able to actually find those special stage springs, no problem with Tails. But as compared to any other characters on the other hand though, well, I'll show those off to you guys if you're having, well, if you didn't have the original cartridge for it, well, you know. So now on to the second special stage, as you can see, and yeah, these special stages are color coordination, because as you can tell, that the first special stage, obviously we've obtained the red Chaos Emerald, and then the second special stage, the actual tunnel sequence color was actually in blue. So if we manage to able to accomplish this particular special stage, then we're able to get ourselves the blue Chaos Emerald. So, and vice versa though really, until later on. And that could be also the same applies to the forms of, let's just say both Sonic Events 2 and 3, and even Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure, which we'll get to those one day. We'll get to those. Well, until eventually later on throughout the year. We might try to do Sonic Events 2 for the sake of this year, but as for Sonic Events 3 on the other hand though, we'll save that up until next year because, well, it might actually take a lot of work to able to figure out the controls on the emulator keyboard controls, I have to admit though right away. But then again though, it's a little bit of an early process going on in here, so either way though, yeah. As you might have noticed from the start though, is the fact that there's going to be a Chao in a special stage. Do you remember when you're trying to collect those flowers in Sonic Pocket Adventure in these special stages? It actually gives you a continue. Well, this game does manage to have a continue system yet again, except the fact that you have to collect a Chao in a special stage, and that way you should be able to obtain a continue. What's the point of getting the continue system? Although, to be fair, this was the this game does have a save feature, so that's a good thing, but what's the point of able to have continues to begin with? I have no idea, but that's how it goes basically. So either way though, and yeah, because of that though, I'm probably not going to be aiming for the continues in this game because it seems kind of worthless. But you know. And of course, much like in any other, any Sonic Let's Plays from the past, since 2011 or something, or mainly not, since in 2017 actually, when it comes to, like, other Let's Plays in general, I'm gonna be obviously trying to grab and obtaining every single Chaos Emerald as much as I can. So, you know. Even though this game also came out on the Japanese exclusive Wii U Virtual Console re-release, as in for the forms of not only Sonic Events 1, but Events 2 and 3 as well, but I haven't got a chance to get around on it. So anyways, here's the next boss fight. As you can see, Dr. Eggman has now got himself the Egg Press boss fight, which according to the actual boss's name, of course, the actual name of this particular fight is, of course, Egg Press. And he's obviously trying to bounce around and all the other stuff, basically. The only thing is kind of a little bit tricky is the fact that whenever he bounces higher up in the screen, you never know where he's going to be coming through. So apart from that, he's pretty easy. So I'm afraid we got the endings up here, so join me next time on Let's Play Sonic Events. It's the fact that we are about to be hit on to Casino Paradise, but with a different playable character like Amy. So I'll see you guys until on Thursday. Later, fellas.